Hey guys, welcome to Carnage Candy, your spot for horror. And today I'm gonna rank every single Saw movie. Mostly because these movies are very, very dear to me, man. Like, they're really, really good. I know people don't like them, but I enjoy them. I enjoy these movies, and I hope you do too. And if you don't, just watch the first two and we'll trash on some movies together. Who knows? So if you like this kind of content, like and subscribe, or just say what's up in the comment section. Any kind of love would be cool. If not, that's cool too. Whatever. I'm gonna rank these, so let's get to that. Number 10. All right, number 10. We all know what number 10 is gonna be. Do you know? I know. You know. You're about to know. Saw 7. Saw 3 fucking D, Saw the final chapter. I don't know what the fuck this one's actually called, but the 7th Saw film, it's a high. I don't know how high, but it's a high piece of garbage, man. This thing is a dumpster fire. The first scene starts off right after Saw 1. Like right after. Dr. Gordon goes, "Tss," you feel the pain. He goes, "Oh," and you're like, okay, he made it out. Then it jumps to a gimmicky 3D credit scene, which is like super. Oh man, I hate it. I hate it so much. But then it jumps to a public trap. This public trap, I gotta tell you, it's pretty cool. It's a kind of a good trap. Not gonna lie. But then it turns into this weird, low budget, early 90s, late 80s crime thing. And you got Jigsaw's wife being interrogated, Jill being interrogated for the godforsaken 1200th time, and she's like, "You got to protect me, bro, cuz I'm in danger." She's about to get killed by Detective Hoffman. And then you jump to this scene at it's like a Saw survivors thing, or no, it jumps to the news scene where the guy's telling his fabricated story. This one guy that gets tested, his story is fake. He's faking to be a Jigsaw survivor, and he tells his story on the news, and then it jumps to a survivors meeting, and Gordon's there. And this one girl tells her story, and then she's like, she feels alive now, and the other girl's like, she's like, "Fuck that. I don't have a leg." Like, fuck you. And you just can't believe what's going on. Then Dr. Gordon goes, then like all villainy. So from the jump, he's Jigsaw's associate because he's stuck. He has like a stick up his ass, like he's cool or something. Like they couldn't the king. I feel like the twists are good in these movies. They couldn't do it this time. They had to just tell us from the jump. It's like, okay, I don't want to watch this anymore. And after that, it's a bunch of shitty traps, a bunch of shitty lessons that nobody wants to learn. It's just bad. If you want to see it, you can go see it, but I wouldn't see it again. I don't want to watch it again, really, but I'm gonna. It's just, when I watch this movie, I just.
And I just screamed. I just sat there and screamed.
Number 9. Number 9, man. What can I say about number 9? Number 9, a lot of people like this one. A lot, and I guess I kind of see it, I guess. I don't know. Number 9 is going to have to go to Saw 6. So I really I want to like Saw 6, but everything is forgettable in Saw 6. Like, it's kind of boring. It's kind of bland. It's kind of boring. The insurance story's kind of cool, but that's all we really get. The only character development that we don't get that's not a flashback, because there's a lot of flashbacks in this one. It makes it hard for people to understand which Saw movie is this? Like, which Saw movies are these? Like, that's why people get so confused, because of ones like this that are just flashbacks. So after the 15,000th flashback, you get to know this insurance, like he owns a medical insurance company, and he's an asshole, or he's a piece of shit. Like, he denies people for anything. Like, you know how insurance companies are. That's what they do. and he has a team of people searching for people, and one guy has like lymphoma or something like that. I don't remember what it is, but he's dying and he needs this experimental surgery, and he denies him. And you don't realize why it's jumping to this. I guess it's to see he's a scumbag, but not really, because this guy gets tested and he does a lot of murdering in between. So all these tests, like he has to kill his coworkers, and those coworkers didn't have a choice. So I feel like Jigsaw is a psychopath. So it kind of has the plot holes of him being a humanitarian type of dude, but he's really not. He's just crazy and wants to kill people and act like he teaches them something, but he sometimes he does, I guess, but he just wants to kill him. But anyway, he goes and gets tested, and at the end, he fails most of them, if not all of them. And at the end, he finds out it's the dude's family, the guy with lymphoma that he denied. He's their ultimate test. Like, can they forgive him? And they avenge. The mom is like, you didn't have mercy on us. Why should we have mercy on you? Like, you killed the main person in our family. But the mom was just like, I can't do it. But the kid was like, fuck that.
You killed my father, you motherfucker!
Fuck that. You killed my dad. You're dead. And he ends up dying, I guess. And you get a lot of Detective Hoffman stuff, a lot of flashbacks to the Hoffman story. I don't know how Hoffman's making this shit. I didn't know he was a fucking engineer better than Jigsaw, like John Kramer, because he's making some crazy shit. He made the box that killed the FBI agent, and the box saved him, and he killed him, and he got to plan everything from him after that. But how did he do that? Like how? Like that? Like, how did he become that good? Like, nah, dude. Like, and other than that, there's like almost no character development in this movie at all. I just really don't like this one. It's kind of bland. I don't like the traps at all. Like, no, this isn't a good one. I don't like this one at all. Number 8. All right, number 8. We've gotten this far. Can we keep going? Who knows? I don't know. But number 8 is going to be 2017's Jigsaw. And Jigsaw is kind of bland. I'm not going to lie. It's really bland. It's really vanilla. It's like all the other ones. It's kind of copy and paste. It starts off with this group trap. The group trap is somewhat interesting. This one looks kind of different. It's been 7 years. The production value seems like it's gone up a little bit, but it also kind of looks like a soap opera. Like a Jigsaw Days of Our Lives soap opera. And it's just kind of weird. It doesn't fit. Like, it kind of makes it seem like its own movie, like kind of like a reboot, like they tried with Friday the 13th, like a reboot type of thing going on. But it's really bland, vanilla paste. And then you find out that this entire movie was a flashback, like a 10-year flashback. And the current time, it jumps to the current time, and you find out this guy's been with Jigsaw since before Amanda, and you've never heard of him, never seen him, not even a whisper. And he waited 10 years to do his own thing.
Oh, Red, your own thing. That's so hip.
To some guy that fucked him over, and he's like a piece of shit cop, and all these people were pieces of shit, and no one learns their lesson because they still end up lying to everybody. This movie's kind of bland, and I liked it going out of the theaters when it came out. Like, I see most of these in theaters, but when I came out, it's just, when I watched it again, like I've probably seen this movie only like 3 times, but the most recent time that I've seen it, I just didn't enjoy it at all. So I'm going to have to put Jigsaw at number 8. Number 7. This is kind of where it gets interesting, because it's the end of the bad. Every other movie after this, I completely enjoy. I will watch it over and over. I like the ones after this. But Saw 4 has its problems. One of them being the first scene where we jump into just straight gore fest, autopsy type shit. Like, that dragged me out of the movie so fast. even though it kind of made sense because you had to find out they had to split open his stomach so that you found out in the previous movie that something happened off camera where he goes whoop and swallows a tape for a test in this one later in the future after he's dead. Some wild ass shit, I know. And you get another flashback. You get I do like that you get some origin story with Jigsaw though. You get the like why he's been kind of changed and what happened to his baby and who sets his first trap and how they're all related and how it kind of changes him and turns him into this like psychopath who really thinks that he's doing like honest work, but at the same time he's full of himself. Like you get that vibe a lot here. You get some backstory from like his career and like his business partners and how he just shuts everybody out. And I like the detective that's getting tested. I like him a lot. It makes no sense that he's getting tested. Like, why is this guy getting tested? It just doesn't make sense. And all his tests are like kind of weird where like, this is where Jigsaw just starts actually killing people. It seems like he's getting tested for like such a bad reason. But when he gets tested, he has to like not save people. And if he doesn't, they just end up dying or something like that. It's kind of weird. It's really weird, but there's some entertainment value out of it, like all the backstory and the start of the Detective Matthews saga and how he's in it with the police, but he's also like the Saw apprentice or whatever, and you get some of that, which is kind of cool, and you get some backstory to Jigsaw, which is also kind of cool. Autopsy was kind of lame. Some of the parts I just didn't really like, and the whole trap scenario I just didn't really like, and it was the main part of the story. So this is probably the last one I'm iffy on. Like I'm kind of iffy on this one. There's some good parts, some bad parts, but the rest is just uphill. So at least we got something to look forward to.
You fucking motherfucker!
Number 6. Man, I really, really actually like this one, and it's crazy that it's all the way down to number 6 where I start actually enjoying myself. But that means I really like these movies. So number 6, I'm gonna have to give to Saw 5. What I like the most about this movie is Megan Good. Oh my gosh, do I love her. I love her so much. I like her in everything she's in. I don't give a fuck. But I also like that I like the intro scene. I like how all 5 of them kind of get into this like team trap. It's like the first team trap, I believe, kind of in the story. And I like how within the end you find out that they all had to work together in order to like survive. Like fine, they all could have survived and they all could have worked together to survive, and that they're all connected. They all did this bad thing together. They were all connected to like burn this house down while there were still people inside. And I really like that. There's not much that I don't like about this movie. I don't like that guy in the beginning who's the investigative journalist. He's kind of like an older hipster. I don't really like that guy. He like thinks he's cool and shit. He's like the Herald. Like I don't like that guy at all. Jigsaw is not in this one that much. He did die in 3, but you kind of like lose, like you get more of the Hoffman story, or Hoffman's just pissed and he's just killing people. He's not really giving many people chances, and he's Peter Strom's starting to find out about him. And Strom is really cool. I like his character. I like all these characters that are going on, but it's starting to get kind of crazy to like it's got the story is getting a little crazy. Not that many flashbacks in this one, but there are flashbacks. And I just really like how they all had to survive we all had to work together to survive, and they didn't until the end. So that was kind of that kind of sucks, but yeah, overall I really like this one and I'll watch it again and again. Number 5. All right, we've made it this far, and it's actually surprising that I put this one at number 5 because I love this movie so much. Number 5 is going to go to Spiral. And Spiral is basically a Saw version of 7 without the better twist. The twist was a little bit, some people, I feel like the twist was definitely predictable, but at the same time, I love everything leading up to the twist. The traps, A+ traps here. Every single trap is good. There's not a bad trap. They're all escapable. They're all winnable. And the whole premise, the whole dirty cop premise, I love it. I love the dirty cop premise. Chris Rock kills it in this movie. His dialogue, hilarious, but his acting is also flawless. It's not just comedy here. It's a lot of good cop stuff, a lot of tropes, a lot of no flashbacks, none. And Samuel L. Jackson does a pretty good job. I'd like to have seen him more, but he does a pretty good job as Chris Rock's Zeke's dad. Zeke is the clean cop who tends to still bend the rules, but he's overall pretty clean. And he's being recruited to kill dirty cops with the guy. So Zeke snitches on a cop. We all know the premise basically, but Zeke snitches on a cop because he shot a witness. And the witness's son ends up trying to recruit him to kill dirty cops later and becomes his partner. Really good 7-esque cop revenge crime like movie that brought a little Saw into it. And it brings Saw to its roots, to its little like crime roots, but without the corny, without the flashbacks, and the traps are really perfect. I want to see another one of this movie. I want to see a Spiral 2, but I don't know if we're going to. But that's going to go to number 5, which is actually surprising because I enjoy Spiral a lot. Number 4. All right, so now this one, for the longest time, till about recently, I think, was my number 1. But Saw 3 is going to have to be at number 4. It's not that it's bad. It's just that now that I've watched them more and a new one has come out, it dropped a little. It dropped like 4 spaces because it's not really that eventful, actually. Like the only thing that's really, really eventful is the ending, where everything in this movie gets connected in a way that, in a Saw-like manner, it kind of starts this whole connection type thing. And you also find out more about this one in later ones, which I don't know if I like that or not, but you find out why Amanda kills the doctor later on. And I like the whole aspect of the wife and the doctor, and you don't know it till the end, and how everybody in the world is being tested in this one. Amanda fucks her test up, and you don't figure it out. You don't really understand why until like 3 movies after this. And he just doesn't learn shit. The guy just doesn't learn shit and just kills Jigsaw. But this one's highly entertaining. I really like this one. This is probably in the sequential form. It could have ended at this Saw, and I would have been totally cool with it. I would have had a little bit of questions, but this is like my, like, I really like this one, and it should have probably ended at this one. Spiral's cool, but Spiral's not really has anything to do with the story. I feel like they should have ended the story here. Even though I like other ones, I feel like when they went on the Detective Hoffman saga, it got a little wild and soap opera-esque. But I really like the trap. The rap is the best trap is in this one. The rack, sorry, not the rap, the rack. That's in this one, and it's used amazingly. Like, all of these traps are used amazingly. Even though some of these people aren't innocent, this is where, like, their fate is in someone else's hands, which I don't really like, but I do like it. I do like why. And this guy has to learn how to forgive and not take vengeance. It has a pretty good morale story and lesson that he just doesn't seem to learn, like nobody does. But yeah, this is definitely a good one. It used to be my number one, but it's dropped down to number 4. So you could probably guess what the next 3 are since I haven't said them yet. But I'm going to have to stick with Saw 3 at number 4. Number 3. So I didn't know this one was going to be this high, and I'm very surprised that this one's this high on this list. But number 3 is definitely Saw 10. And I know that that's surprising, but this movie was so good. If you have not seen Saw 10 yet, go see it. I think it's on Amazon right now. You can rent it. I don't know if you can stream it anywhere, but you could definitely rent it. But I love Saw 10. What I like about Saw 10 is the story. You see a lot of John Kramer. You see a lot of emotional scenes, emotional situations where this guy, this older, on the brink of death gentleman, almost has lost hope. Not only has he lost hope, but he's searching for anything. He's desperate at this point, and he gets taken advantage of at a time of desperate need. It doesn't act out of vengeance, really, but he does feel the need to test these people. What I don't like about the movie are the tests, are the traps. They go a little too far. I feel like that they're almost impossible. Not only do they go a little too far, but they're also... gore porn's fine, but I feel like this is probably the goriest film, the goriest one, because cutting her leg off is one thing, but extracting her bone marrow to release the trap, like, do we have to take it a step further? Like, if he wasn't a psychopath, would he have to take it a step further and do all that? Like, I don't think so. Amanda doesn't look great in the movie, but I really don't care. It didn't take me out of the movie or anything. I like the way she acted. You see some of that in Saw 3, and this is between Saw 2 and 3, so you kind of see her progress into this vengeful killer almost. And it does a lot for her character when you rewatch the other movies. But yeah, when I came out of the theater, I said that this was number 1, but after taking some time and rewatching it, I'm going to keep this at number 3. Number 2. All right, guys. Holy. So we have made it to the top 2. There are only 2 more contenders. Who's going to win? From the process of elimination, you could probably figure it out. But for number 2, I've been back and forth. I've never been this so back and forth ever in my choices with a film, like between 2 films. But for number 2, I'm gonna have to go with the original Saw. So right before I started this, I had my list different, and Saw wasn't number 2. But I'm gonna have to put it at number 2. But I that doesn't mean I don't like it. I love the original Saw, but I don't like some parts of it. Some parts. And the parts that I don't like are kind of the cop parts. Like the parts that aren't in the room. Honestly. I love the trap. I love the room and the Zepp thing. I don't like the Zepp thing. Why'd they even have to do that? Like, because it doesn't make sense. Like, because Zepp, he's just going to murder 2 people to get out of this trap. Like, that's not even a trap. That's just lazy. And like, why? Like, Dr. Gordon was already in a trap. Why did you have to add on his wife and his daughter being kidnapped by Zepp? It doesn't make sense. And I guess it was just for like to add runtime or something. I don't really know what James Wan was thinking there, but you got to give it respect. It was an independent film. It launched 2 careers with James Wan and Lee Winnell. it launched an entire saga almost. Like, this is a saga at this point. And it's very influential, and it didn't cost a lot of money to make, and they made a damn good film with what they had. And they're very inspirational. Like James Wan and Lee Winnell, they made a short, looked for studios to give it money. Someone gave them $1 million. Now they're set. Like, now they're making movies all the time. But I love Danny Glover in this. I like the whole cast. Amanda does great. The original trap is great. All the traps are good in this, except Zep. I have no idea what's going on with Zep, but that's why it's number 2, because that little thing. That's it. That's the only thing that makes it number 2.
I'm gonna kill your husband now, Mrs. Gordon.
Number 1. All right, guys, you know what it is. It's that number 1 spot. And at number 1, I'm gonna have to go with Saw 2. Saw 2 is almost the perfect Saw film. Like, I don't think you can make a better Saw movie than this one. I feel like that the entire film is entertaining. Not only is the entire film entertaining, you got the little Degrassi kid in this movie. He's really cool. Daniel, his son Daniel, Detective Matthews' son, does great. And the way they had everybody in this trap linked to this kid, and they all probably hate him because Detective Matthews planted stuff on them to send them to prison. And that's what they all have linked, except the kid. The kid is just, this cop's son. But then it's the first time in Saw where you find out something's not happening in real time. It's happening before. But it was actually like a twist then. Like, they could have, like after 2, they probably should have stopped doing that. But at 2, it was all right because we've never seen that before. And you realize that Detective Matthews, Mr. Wahlberg, he could have just calmed down, listened to him talk, and stopped being such a pissed off, dirty cop all the time. Like, he could have just, listened to him talk. That's what John Kramer said. If you just sit here and let me talk, you'll get your son. His son was there the whole time. Spoiler alert. I'm assuming that if you're watching this, you've seen these movies. If not, that's fine too. But Saw 2 is just great. I love Amanda in this movie. I love the twist. I love the trap, the big trap, and then everyone has their own trap on 5, where it's like a team thing. I really like that because each person has to deal with the things they get arrested for, basically. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with Saw 2. That's my number 1. I love this. I love Saw 2, and I switched it right before. So if you don't like it, I don't care. All right, guys, and that was my entire Saw ranking. I really fuck with this franchise. If you like this franchise, give me a like. If you don't like this franchise, let me know why in the comments. Tell me what your favorite ones are. Let me know, because I want to know if you liked the first one and how you liked Saw 10. I would like to know. So give me a like, a subscribe, maybe a comment. Give me some love, because I'm just starting this and I want to, do more videos. So help me out. You guys have a good one and stay horrific.